Driving safe on Utah roads all starts when you turn on your car. Dr. Jay Shetland from South Jordan Chiropractic is here in this sponsored interview with a way to avoid accidents behind the wheel. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I'm excited to dive right in. This is an important subject. Let's talk headlights and why they're so important.
Well, they're important because they keep us safe all the time, day and night. Surprisingly, we're 20% less likely to have a crash because we're more visible to the surrounding cars, just having them on during the day even.
So is this a problem because people are forgetting to turn on their headlights?
Yeah, some of the older cars you still have to turn them on and off, and we forget about it at dawn or dusk because we can see great, but other people can't see us.
So why is it important to just maybe keep them on? What if we don't turn them off?
Well, it's just better to have them on all the time. Matter of fact, the newer cars do have them on all the time. You can take your older car to the shop and actually have it wired so when you turn that key on, the lights are on. When you turn it off, the lights are off.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
Okay, so holidays are right around the corner. Everyone's driving. This is probably something that's really important. How often are we seeing cars that are forgetting to turn on their headlights, and it's an issue?
I've noticed it a lot lately because we're getting into the darker time of the season, so we've got dawn and dusk happening at off hours than we're used to, and boy, it's so easy to forget, so just try to have them on all the time.
Okay, what are some other tips with headlights that you would say?
Well, you want to have them on in the country, when you're on the country roads, because then you've got that head-on traffic. You want to be visible not only to who you're coming up on,
yes,
but to oncoming traffic that might be trying to pass.
Well, I was telling you I go up the canyon all the time, right, up Provo Canyon, and there's that tight spot right there, and sometimes people don't have their lights on, and it's really, really scary.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't have their lights on, what would you suggest doing? Do you flash your brights?
Flashing your brights, if it's an easy switch in your car to turn them off and back on, that's an easier signal, but some of the newer cars, it's hard to do that.
Is it important to go get your lights checked each season? Maybe, you know, now as it's getting darker, can you go see a mechanic? Is that important?
Yeah, definitely always do that spot check. We don't have the safety checks like we used to, so you want to walk around your car once in a while and check your brake lights, your tail lights, your headlights, make sure they're all working properly.
Talk to me a little bit about drowsy driving.
So drowsy driving, that's another big problem across the country, because so many of us are driving so much these days that we get kind of numb to it, and you just got to pay attention all the time.
Make sure you're alert.
Absolutely.
Okay, and watching for pedestrians and motorcycles as well, and making sure they have their lights on.
Yeah, with motorcycles, it's the law to have your headlights on and your lights on all the time. It should be for all of us. It just makes us so much more visible. I mean, they say start seeing motorcycles. We just need to start seeing all of them.
Yes,
all of us.
All of it. Why is it so important to understand your auto insurance and just be aware?
Yeah, just understand your insurance. We shouldn't drive without insurance. It's against the law, for one, and we think, oh, nothing will happen to me, I'm a good driver. It's not just about you. It's about what could happen to somebody else. So we always want to make sure that we're properly covered with the right amount of insurance. Hands down, it's just so important.
It's just important. Okay, well, who pays after a crash?
Well, after a crash, if you're involved in a crash, your own insurance covers you.
Okay.
And if you cause the crash, their insurance covers them initially, and then your insurance kicks in. So that's why most of us don't even understand how our insurance works. But that's why we pay for insurance, to take that stress off of us and make sure, oops, if something happened, we're all taken care of, and it's not a life changer.
Why is it important, if you have been in a crash, to come and see someone like yourself?
Well, more people are injured in crashes than we realize. And 50% of us after a crash are never the same, because we think, oh, I'll be fine, and we don't heal up properly. So we want to make sure that we see a good certified expert physician in this field so that we can properly diagnose those and treat those injuries to prevent.
And lots of times your insurance is covering that.
100%.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, if our viewers want to know more and want to come and see you, where can they go? Well,
South Jordan Chiropractic, we're happy to help. And if we're not close to you, we'll help you find somebody in your area that you can find a good certified specialist physician.
Great.
We're right there on Redwood Road and 106th.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sitting with me. All that information right there on your screen. You can also go to our website. Thanks to South Jordan Chiropractic.